From the beginning of the ages of man, there have been many successes and many triumphs in the history of this planet that we call Earth. But there have been a few that have gone the wrong way. What do we do in those situations? Do we sit back and watch and say nothing? I say no. I say, let's fix it. Welcome in, folks. Kyle Cornell, AA Anthony
See,
Alford.
we need like a cool intro. Like after that open, like we need like a something. I don't even know. We gotta do some kind of intros.
I set fireworks and pyro behind us, but it didn't go off.
Okay.
So we're also indoors, so that's probably a good thing.
That's
but
a great idea. I think Pete would appreciate that.
today is a fun episode because I get to hear Anthony's 5 points to fix something, and it's that lovable mother father behind us, Jon Moxley.
Yeah, that's all cut it up and bloody. So we're gonna get to it soon. But first, check out BA Sweeties. Interstate 480, the Ridge Road exit. Make a left on Brook Park Road. You see the giant lollipops, candy, popcorn balls, the classic sodas and pops, the 30 different milkshake flavors, the homemade popcorn balls.
Literally right down the road in Strongsville.
Right down the road.
They just ship it back up 71 north over to
The different
on the
flavors
480,
too.
and then you're there. Yeah, I mean,
I actually had the bacon one.
You did. Yeah.
Why did I not have it sooner?
Yeah. Well, that's your problem.
Oh man, they're so good. They are so good.
The bacon ranch for me was fantastic. The Buffalo Ranch one too was awesome. I mean, that's oh my goodness, the flavors. It's insane, and it's popcorn.
Yeah, again for all ages.
Who doesn't like popcorn?
And remember, Putt-Putt's there too. The early bird special, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. BA Sweeties. Let's actually check out more from BA Sweeties.
Sweetie.
BA.
You did it.
Oh man, I can't believe it.
All right, let me see this bullshit list. Go ahead.
So, real quick, as I'm breaking this down, I want you to think back to just why. Tell me right now, and this is AEW's biggest problem. This is Jon Moxley's biggest problem. Why does he look like this? Why is he bleeding? What is the storyline reason that he's bleeding right now?
Why is he excited about bleeding? I thought
Why
if you're
is he
bleeding,
happy?
you're supposed to be hurt.
Yeah, you should like. Why are you happy about being hurt? Why are you happy about having a concussion? Why are you? What is this?
He's more the lunatic fringe in AEW than he was in WWE. If you think about it,
That's a good point. So
he's more what Vince wanted in AEW than he is in WWE.
Honestly, and what really ticked me off was again, I went to AEW Dynasty back in April in St. Louis, and to see him in the B block, in the A block actually, after Dynasty, I'm like for a championship that doesn't matter there, your style doesn't matter, but you're an asset, you're a superstar, and we're gonna fix this. So I just want you to think about that. Again, BA Sweeties. I want you to think about that going forward. So here it is, my 5 steps. And to me, because Jon Moxley is an asset, I think you have to basically reintroduce him. And it starts, and honestly, you could steal a playbook out of WWE. You could take the approach of a little bit of the Wyatts in terms of the importance of a video package. So reintroduce Mox. Reintroduce him. Utilize those video packages. What I'm saying is, if he has all those dates that he has to fulfill, fine. Go ahead and fulfill those dates overseas, wherever you are. But while you're doing that, reintroduce Mox to the audience. I want to know, and this goes right into point number 2, I want to know your backstory. His backstory in real life is actually very interesting. You know, growing up in Cincinnati, he didn't, he had to make it like everybody, he had to make ends meet, but the only way he knew how to survive, he had to bring food in, so
he killed it in the street.
A lot of shoplifting.
Okay.
Don't listen to Gunther. Don't be like, oh, he chose to be broke. Although he chose to bleed, so you have to take that element out. So, what is the backstory? Why do you, first off, before the fans care about your character, who are you? I jokingly said it in the other Let's Fix It's, but I think it's important here. Who is Jonathan Moxley? Who are you? What is your purpose? Like, what is the childhood trauma? Like, what
Jonathan G. Moxley.
Yeah, right. The third. What has led to the person that you are today? That is ingrained in you, ingrained in your DNA. So I think that backstory telling that is very important. The third point, you might laugh, you might chuckle, but I think it's part of the story. It's a big part of the story. You might have to get Renee involved in the story a little bit. Why does she marry you? What?
No, like seriously, we're asking the question. Why?
I'm kind of not joking here. What does she see in you? What do you see in her? But more importantly, this is your story. What does she see in you? How did the marriage happen? You are a lunatic. So lunatics typically hang alone, or they hang with, the buddies that they associate themselves with. So how did you find a woman? And how did you find a woman that's attractive, that is smart, that is seemingly book smart? What made her attracted to you? What did you give up in order for her to marry you? I think that's important. I think that story of Renee, getting her involved, and you tell all of that throughout the video packages. I'm expecting video packages with Mox, the story of Mox. If I was running AEW, at least for the next month, maybe 2 months of doing this. Okay? So why did Renee marry you? What's that story? What's going on there? All right, so then the fourth point I have there. Why do you still like blood? Why do you still like to bleed? Why do you still like these type of matches? You could be an imperfect guy. I think all of us are imperfect in some way, shape, or form. All of us, except Kyle Cordell. All of us are imperfect people.
Suck it, losers.
All of us have some kind of flaw that we don't see, that we have to, that just drives us. For him, seemingly it's violence, but now this is a grown Jon Moxley who has responsibilities.
Got kids.
You have a family.
Yeah.
You have kids.
Uh-huh.
You got to be around for your kids. So and that's what brings me to point number 5. From a booking standpoint, he is a superstar. You utilize him. You utilize the asset. You're not going to strip away everything from Jon Moxley, but it's within reason. It's within reason. Do you really have to win the match this way? Or can you just have a straight-up wrestling match and win it that way? And Renee is your checks and balance. But to challenge this theory, you need strong opponents. You need somebody who could really... You need people who could really challenge you and challenge your beliefs. And I have a few guys in mind. I hate the Elite, but that's one of them. Because at least here, you can, if you pair them off with the Elite, Mox will be Ray over. The Elite will completely smash you, completely destroy your identity. Adam Cole. I think Adam Cole is another guy who can really, privilege. You got to face guys who are privileged, who can talk on the mic, but face privileged guys who the fans want to see you beat down. But again, within reason. Renee's going to keep you in check. Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, he another one of those guys who could do that. Samoa Joe could humble you a little bit here. So there are a few guys at AEW who could be ideal, B-side opponents here to get your character over. But Jon Moxley is a superstar, and he's a superstar right now who lacks a story, who lacks an identity. He needs an identity. And if you reintroduce him as such with an identity, Jon Moxley can draw money again for All Elite Wrestling.
He's definitely got the aura. It's one of the reasons why he was in the Shield in the first place. He was originally the leader of the Shield. And that's two guys that went on to be two of the biggest stars in the company, and he's included in that aspect too, obviously. And it just seemed like the past couple of years he's kind of just been floundering because he hasn't had that story. I don't know if it's because the title's been away from him for a little bit now, especially to the CM Punk drama and all that stuff and everything. Unless your name is Kenny Omega, he hasn't really touched the Elite or anything like that. I mean, I think the list for me is short, and it's one line. Go home. Like, not home to Cincinnati or home to Las Vegas, but go home to WWE. Because the booking's different now. You can get the best of both worlds. You can be a professional wrestler, but also on the other end, you can actually get the proper booking to where you can really express your personality, have that there. And let's be honest, I think people want to see that Shield triple threat at some point. We never got that. That would be something that'd be worth making it happen.
I'm more interested in the Shield as their characters now. Actually, I think that would be
if he came back,
television show.
If he comes back, everyone just assumes he's going to be Dean Ambrose again. But I mean, he could be Jon Moxley again. WWE is letting people keep their names if they've had them. When they leave too, they can take the copyright and it's theirs. So I mean, he could come back and say, "I'm not pulling that Dean Ambrose bullshit. I'm fucking Jon Moxley." And they'll be like, "All right."
I'll leave it at this, though. I'll leave it at this. I think you're right. If you're Tony Khan, though, Jon Moxley, I think what you actually said is right, but it'll mean differently. Go home.
Take time off.
Go home, take time off, reevaluate who you are.
Can't miss you if you don't go away.
Like, who are you?
I like everything before. I think blood is okay in certain situations. Ric Flair was big on that.
Mm-hmm.
And you felt it when Rick bled, but you bleed every week.
That's what I'm saying about 4. Like, I'm not
too fucking much.
I'm not saying completely cut it out. Like
he's visiting the American Red Cross every Wednesday night.
Yeah,
stop.
Even the good people don't donate their blood every week. I mean, damn. Eventually, you run out of cookies. I mean, you gotta let's go.
My glucose is not.
Tell the story and do that. So again, my 5. It's very simple, which means it's simple to the point where if Triple H had Moxley, he would do this. But it's simple enough to where AEW won't do this. Like, WWE will listen to us when it comes to the Final Testament, but AEW won't listen to us when it comes to fixing the company.
Anything.
But again, reintroduce Mox, video package, tell the story from childhood on, who you are as a person, the backstory, who are you, where does all this come from? Renee, getting her involved. Renee turns basically into your checks and balance. Your wife doesn't let you do everything that you want to do. That checks and balance. Why is she interested in the first place?
Even the craziest motherfucker has the wife in the background still going like,
mm-hmm.
He's like, all right, shit.
That's how it goes. That's mafia. That's how those go.
You'll learn soon enough.
The blood thing, and then you fight opponent. Opponent's going to come after you. They're not going to respect you. You're going to want to beat them down. You're going to want to bleed and everything. And Renee is going to... You have a family. You can still win without bleeding. And that's how you fix Jon Moxley. There you go.
Oh, boy.
Check us out on social media at all those platforms. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Did you ask for consent before you grabbed him like that?
I did not. I'm sorry.
Let's cancel Double LA 2024, please. I think it's his turn now.
Yeah. That's why the slideshow's over. Good night.
We'll see you guys later.